Hello, I'm Eric Hurst from the Nicros Training Center at nicros.com, and I'm here with the first in a series of monthly climbing hold reviews. Now in this edition we're going to take a look at one of the sets from our signature line. These are holds designed by pro climbers, and this first set is designed by Paul Robinson. Now I'm sure you've heard of Paul for his V-hard sends. Most recently, I guess last season, he put up a route out at Bishop, Lucid Dreaming, I think it was, that is proposed as a V16. That's as hard as it gets, folks. And Paul continues to be at the cutting edge of bouldering, and we're happy to have him shaping for us here at Nicros. This first set by Paul, they're called PR1s. Well, let's take a look at what each of the individual holds looks like. I'm going to kind of give you a little preview of what you can expect if you purchase a set of these holds. For the most part, these shapes are designed for bouldering, for walls anywhere from vertical to severely overhung. The first couple of holds are probably more appropriate for slightly overhanging walls. This hold here you can see is kind of triangular shaped. It's got a positive feature, about a half a pad on one side, and then just a smaller in-cut on the other side. So ideal for a pinching type grip. And I would probably place this hold on my wall that overhangs 10 or 20 degrees past vertical. The next hold in the line is somewhat similar but a little more positive. It's not quite as deep, but it has a fairly positive in-cut here and here, so it lends itself to getting a really solid pinch with either hand. I think this hold is probably usable even on a 45-degree overhanging wall. Of course, you could turn it upside down and make it a more difficult kind of side pull or pinch on a vertical wall if you wanted to set some type of a technical boulder problem or even a lead climb. The next three holds are pretty much standard in-cuts. Not super in-cut, but still fairly positive even on a slightly overhanging wall. This first hold, about a full pad in depth. You can see it's a pretty straightforward design. This hold, somewhat similar, a little broader. You might be able to match hands on this hold. Again, it's a pad to maybe a pad and a half if you have small fingers. Fairly positive hold, good on a slightly overhanging wall, no doubt. The deepest and most positive of those three in-cut holds, you can see has a nice big radius of curvature like all of Paul's shapes do. This could not only be used as a down pull on, say, a 10 or 20 or 30 degree overhanging wall, but you could turn it sideways and get a real good pinch on this lobe, even sticking your thumb into the bolt hole here if you wanted to turn it into an undercling. So a really nice shape there. Now, the largest shape in this set of 10 holds, these PR1s, is this guy here. Fairly large, it's about 2 inches deep in terms of profile. Certainly on a vertical wall, this would be a bucket, something you could hang on or stand on for a long time, but I think most people would set it on a overhanging wall, probably as a pinch type hold, some type of a layoff. You could certainly set some technical boulder problems that require body positioning and side pulling off of this hold, maybe even a bit of an undercling. It's got a nice surface here to stack your thumb on if you did want to turn it over and try to use it as an undercling hold on a steeper wall. Okay, the last four shapes out of this set of 10 are my favorites. They're the most in-cut and the most usable on a very steep training wall, kind of like what I have behind me here. This one here, very in-cut. I think you could use this, probably on a 65-degree overhanging wall. So on a 45, it would be a positive hold, something you could lunge to, set up some dynamic problems with. It has a thumb catch here on this side, so it's a pretty bomber hold in terms of fairly small holds go. Here's another hold, not quite as positive, but another great shape. It is in cut here across the top, and it has a nice thumb catch here. You can see it fits my hand nicely. With a right hand, well, it'll be a little more tricky because that thumb catch wouldn't come into play. But again, you could turn it a little bit sideways and set it a couple different angles and make that a cool hold to use. Now, these last two shapes, these are pinches. This a fairly positive edge here on this side of the hold, this not so positive. So this pinch you have to really squeeze hard to make it work for you on an overhanging wall. On a vertical wall I think you'd be fine, but on a steeper wall you need to be packing some ammo in your guns here to stick onto that guy. But the last shape, this is very positive as far as a pinch hold. It's got positive features on both sides. I think just about any fit climber could use this on a say a 45-degree overhanging wall and really crank off this hard. excellent training shape, no doubt about it, especially if you want to develop that pinching power. So that does it for the first set of Paul Robinson holds. Every month I'm going to introduce you to a new set. We have some signature shapes also by Daniel Woods. I think you've heard of him as well. And then some shapes by kind of the team of Nicros shapers, including myself and some other great shapers at Nicros. And we're going to introduce you to those holds in the coming months. Check back here for all those updates.